Hi, this is Lynn's Lens, and I'm Lynn. Thank you for tuning in to my show. It's been a few weeks since I've done an episode, and it's good to be back. I'm lonely for YouTube tonight, so I'm talking about something that I put in my mind that I wanted to do an episode on because it may help someone if you're in a situation where you need an IV. If you have to go into the emergency room or wherever and need an IV, I was sick and I'm diabetic. I've been diabetic for years, so I had to go get an IV. They will put it right back here. In other words, I've had my share of experiences getting IVs through the years. I have some knowledge. And because the hand is naturally veiny and bony, it can really hurt. So when my nurse came in to administer this IV, I asked her if she would please put it somewhere else. And you can do that. Well, they don't always like to, I guess. I don't think this nurse wanted to do that. And even though she was one of these scowling type nurses, because it is so uncomfortable for me having it in my hand, I just went ahead and asked that she put it somewhere else. And as she was putting it in, she put it somewhere up my wrist. It hurt. And she says, well, you wouldn't let me put it in your hand. A little later on, my baby daddy, Frank, was in the room, and he was searching for something on the television while she was also in there, and she was on the computer logging in some information about my prescriptions or something. And I knew an opportunity presented itself for a joke when Frank stopped it on the Three Stooges, and I knew before I even told this joke, but I couldn't resist because it was a good inside joke between him and I, that she wouldn't like it, and she didn't. The joke was, I'm a girl, I don't even like the good Three Stooges, and it's also kind of a Family Guy joke, but he and I both loved that show. And sure enough, she got very feminist, and, well, women love Three Stooges too. Still, no smile at any point so far, and she wasn't an old lady. I mean, she was pretty young. Uh, Finally, 2 or 3 hours had passed, and actually I was pregnant. I am pregnant and didn't even realize it at the time. I would find out about a half hour later, but she walked in there and I was alone, and I was fed up with having to, not only was the IV aching, but I was having to hold it very precariously to keep the drip going, and I was having to keep constant eye on the IV and make sure that it was dripping down in so that I was getting better. She came in and she's wearing her scowl, and I look at her and I say, I don't know if I made you mad when I asked you not to put that IV in my hand, but you really hurt me. I said, in addition to that, you never smile, you have a terrible bedside manner, and I would rather not have to see you again. She took it very well. She said, okay, and she walked out of the room, and I didn't have to see her again. And as it turned out, uh, uh, the complete opposite tech came in and actually ended up putting it where I wanted it. So I think if you do want it inside your elbow, which for me personally is the most comfortable place, then that's where they have to put it, according to this guy anyway. Point of the story, if you're in a situation where you're being mistreated by a nurse or some medical professional, just say so and just ask, is there not someone else who can help you? Uh, Frank had to get blood drawn earlier today, in fact, at a medical office, and the woman was very abrasive and rough, and we're walking out the door, and he said, I want to hit her. So whenever I do get a good tech, and it usually is, and they're good, and they're quick, and they're friendly, and they're fast, and as painless as possible, I always make a point to say, hey, you were fast, you're good, keep up the good work. It did happen at, I don't remember this woman's name. If I did, I wouldn't name her. Like I said, I told her how I felt, and she took it very well and disappeared. It was at the MTMC hospital in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Thank you for tuning in to my show, and I hope to see you again the next time I do a show. Tune in. I'm Lynn.